Guess what? Today, the Department of War dropped another UAP file release, 41 new files, videos, documents, images, and some FBI renderings. This is the 5th official release, and most of it, as far as the video goes, does have that familiar look, grainy military surveillance footage, infrared targeting displays, and heavily redacted reports, of course. But I will say that there are a couple of interesting standouts. For example, 6 of the videos appear to cover the same 2021 encounter. This happened over the Gulf of Oman. It says it's recorded from an AC-130 gunship during a live fire exercise. And dig this, according to the accompanying intelligence report, personnel saw roughly 25 UAP instances described as cold orbs. They were flying in formations, maneuvering aggressively, and possibly even reacting as the aircraft fired its main cannons. There's also a 2025 military aircraft video from the Middle East, plus a 2026 report involving 2 slow-moving black-hot infrared anomalies that were seen by a U.S. government special agent. The FBI interview files and the artist renderings, they might be the least convincing part visually, but don't confuse a rendering with evidence. There is value in the underlying witness statements, the source documents, sensor data, that's all being made public. So this is another official batch of unresolved material, and the government says more files will be coming. Which file from this release 5 do you want me to break down and do a deeper analysis on? Let me know.
What's that? Oh, a SpaceX rocket just crashed into the moon going about 7 times faster than the speed of sound? That's awesome! Tell me more! This is a super interesting story because the Falcon 9 from about last year crashed into the moon, creating a new crater in the moon. And this is all being told from scientists that have been observing the moon and all the activity going on and things of that nature. And they said they did see the plume of smoke come up, or debris and all the stuff come up after the crash. And it was traveling roughly about 5,000 miles per hour when it hit. Now, of course, this wasn't the full entire rocket of Falcon 9. Basically, it was part of the rocket after it had been shot up into the air last year, and a portion of it was just kind of abandoned up there in space, and it's just kind of been floating around for like the past year or so. But eventually it kind of started getting onto a particular track where it started heading towards the moon, picked up some speed and such, and then got up to about 5,000 miles per hour, to where then it hit the moon. And now that debris that popped up into the air from the impact is now floating around in space. Oh, goody.
We can't have space next to our atmosphere without a solid barrier in between.
Yeah, so that's
Right.
what
I was just talking about.
That's exactly what we were just talking about. So
The antecedent for pressure is a container. And we actually can show you a container with a valve with a meter at the top and a meter at the bottom, and there's less pressure at the top and more pressure at the bottom. So we can physically show you a container with a pressure gradient. Can you bring me some gas without a container that has a pressure gradient?
no.
But this right here is what frozen oxygen looks like. And this is what our blue sky looks like. Pretty similar. And what's even crazier is that some Italian was eating pasta in Sierra Leone, West Africa, and he found something called the sky stone, which I believe was made of about 77% oxygen, and then some like calcium and carbon, a few other minerals and stuff. But it was mainly oxygen, and at room temperature, it was a stone, a solid object. This guy found this in 1990. And a lot of people are claiming that, oh, you know, aliens came here and it's an alien stone and all this stupid stuff, when honestly, guys, it's a piece of the firmament. It's literally a piece of the firmament found in West Africa. And what's really weird to me is that the sky has to be blue for a reason. And if you think about it, if the sun's light is reaching the moon, and then the moon is reflecting the sun's light at nighttime, then all of the sky should be blue. Because that means the light should be traveling to the moon and then traveling to us. But all you see is the moon giving off its own light. But I made this video entirely for entertainment.
Listen up. So have y'all noticed all these ag tech companies that are making fake food? Have you really dug in to see what these companies' names are? I'll just give y'all several examples. Eden Brew, Eden Genetics, Project Eden, Eden Materials. And what about Resurrect Bio? Or Rainbow Crops? Manna for bakers, manna for millers. And of course, Genesis. I'm sure y'all see the connection. Genesis, Eden, Resurrect, Rainbow. Almost as if they're trying to imitate God. We know that God supplied us with this beautiful earth where we can grow our own plants, pick our own fruit and vegetables, and make our own meals. And that was God's way, the healthy way. And now they're trying to sever that connection with God. And this is also why it is so important to pray over your food. Because unless you raise your own cattle, grow your own food, you're probably eating fake stuff.
In a dark day for Maha, the FDA just approved Moderna's first ever mRNA flu shot. I looked at the FDA briefing documents that they approved it for. 75.3% of participants suffered an adverse reaction. Severe systemic reactions were 4 times more common in the mRNA group compared to the comparator group, which was not a placebo group, was another flu shot, a high-dose traditional flu shot. So we have a 75.3% adverse reaction rate, a 4 times higher severe systemic reaction rate, and 0 placebo groups. And the FDA approved it anyways for adults over 50. This is a grave disappointment, and they remain fully captured. Our regulatory agencies are fully captured.
World leaders keep warning that another pandemic is coming. Why do you think they're trying to get us so prepared for it?
They have the Agenda 2030 when they want all human beings to be corrupted. We said this in 2020, 2021 that by 2025 they wanted all nations to be digitalized. That has happened. They want a situation where you cannot travel. Right now you cannot even travel on the plane in this country without a real ID, which is a digital form of your ID.
Yes.
If you go around the world right now, they are turning everywhere into a cashless society. If they can control the money and control the food, they can control the people. So why do they do that? They've put everything in place to be able to lock down the people. Right now, the Bill Gates Phantom Dot 2.0 is just a sticker that they'll stick on your hand that would inject you with the vaccine, have your vaccine record, your financial record, your social credit score, and everything injected in your hand. Their whole agenda for 2030 is for everybody to be transhuman. Why does the devil need everybody to be transhuman? Just like in the book of Genesis, if everybody is corrupted, then God cannot come back. So now, just like they were attacking the seed in Genesis, they still want to attack that. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 24 verse 22 that if these days were not shortened, no flesh would survive. It didn't say no soul, it didn't say no spirit, it said no flesh would survive. So why would they need another pandemic? Because after they've put everything in place, they need a disruptive event.
So one of these packages weigh 1 pound, or supposed to. 14.4 ounces. Here's another one. 15.2. 15 ounces. 1 pound, 16 ounces. 14.3 in the pack.
Celeste was actually pregnant with David's baby. She was saying like, David, like none of us can have this baby. And then, fam, this was 2024? That means I think she was like...
Yeah, she was
years old.
David texted her? Oh, I have to ask the question. My mom said, but is it mine? You know how weird that is? That means the mom knew like the intimate that was going on between them.
Yeah.
How can the mom...
It's hard to tell if the mom even knew her age too, though.
Oh,
based
because
on
maybe
text,
David...
Because I was reading through all the text messages, right? It doesn't necessarily say that the mother knew how old she was. He could be lying or just telling her, this is like the girl I'm seeing.
Yeah, you're right. That could have happened.
And never giving those full details.
That's true.
What's so sketch about the David stuff, though, they had this thing called Operation Awesome. Always refer to it, are you ready for OA? So anytime he references to OA, Operation Awesome, what that meant was him taking her away from her family. Pretty much like letting her live with him.
But
so she went missing.
Away. Yes,
she ran away from home and she went missing. Because David pretty much coerced that whole thing.
Has a biblical prophecy just arrived with swarms of locusts? Thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of locusts invading Central Asia. Well, that just happened. And it's not just one swarm of locusts in one area, it's several swarms of locusts in multiple areas, all throughout Central Asia, going on right now. People in Dagestan are freaking out. They believe this is part of a biblical prophecy. Now, I don't know if it is or if it's not, but I definitely would be freaking out too. Having hundreds of thousands of locusts attacking, then finding out it's not just where you are, but it's all over the continent of Asia. Something is going on in our world. Something serious is happening, and we just got to open our eyes to it. And while locust swarms do happen, they don't happen like this, and they don't happen every day, scattered around a continent. Let me know what you think, Booshkies, in the comment section. Till next time, Shabadoo!
What they were talking about before they tragically passed away, part 1. Oliver Tree allegedly spent over 300 days in Antarctica filming a documentary, in which he investigated UAPs, alien bases, the ice wall, and entrances to the Hollow Earth. That's right, and he got it all on video.
Alien base entry point to Agartha, the Hollow Earth. UAPs, UFOs. The wall is over 16 meters high.
There was a private screening of this doc just 2 weeks before his fatal helicopter crash in Brazil on June 14th, 2026, which ended his life. Rest in peace. Where his helicopter collided with another helicopter and all passengers and pilots aboard both tragically perished. Well, someone leaked the entire documentary screening online. I watched the whole thing and this is exactly what it's about. It's called The One Man Band, 369 Days in Antarctica, and it's sort of a vlog style documentary of him and his crew just messing around while touring the forbidden Antarctica. And yeah, in it he does mention seeing entrances to secret alien bases or others that go down to the Hollow Earth, Agartha. He goes into UAPs and even the ice wall, which he was planning on exposing to the world, so they had to take him out. Well, that is, if this wasn't a total comedy skit mockumentary that doesn't take itself seriously at all. If you didn't know, Oliver Tree was a music producer whose entire online persona was being a troll who didn't take himself, or anything for that matter, all too seriously. And on the surface, it appears as though he treated this documentary as an hour-and-a-half long skit for entertainment purposes only, with some pointing out that he might not have actually spent over a year in Antarctica, but only 7 days as part of a commercial cruise to promote his music. Now, I've made several videos about the secret alien bases, ice wall, UAPs, Hollow Earth, and more found in Antarctica, which may, in fact, be down there, or it might not be. But now, people are starting to piece together everything that Oliver has been talking about in the years leading up to his tragic passing and are starting to notice something. You know, the great noticing. He even featured additional promotional clips alongside this of him in other major ancient sites around the world. Like he had more than just the Antarctica one planned. Let's start with one thing that everyone can surely agree on. Oliver Tree clearly took on the role of the jester, the one who makes the jokes, keeps the mood light, but as you may or may not know, historically speaking, the jester was the only one allowed to tell the truth, all under the guise of entertaining the king and making people laugh. You ever think about what the highest card in a deck of cards is? It's not the king, it's not even the ace. In fact, it's the only card so powerful that you have to take it out of the deck to play most games. the Joker. Being the jester grants us the ultimate power with the freedom to speak the truth. And that's the question here. Was he really poking fun at the hidden secrets of the world under the guise of a joke? Well, he did say in many interviews that people would only appreciate his quote, stupid videos after his death, which he actually talked about quite a lot in the years leading up to his crash. In fact, he talked about him dying in almost every podcast he went on, almost like he knew what he was getting into. There's the one where he talks about how he plans on donating all of his money to his charity if he ever dies, which is exactly what happened with his arts grant for baby geniuses. And another where he explicitly said he thinks falling into a volcano from a helicopter would be a cool way to die, which a helicopter crash is exactly how it happened, and seems to happen quite often with high-profile celebrity deaths, despite there being only about 50 or so fatal helicopter crashes a year, like the late Kobe Bryant, who also died in a helicopter crash in January 2020, which also had its own host of predictive programming theories, like this cartoon of Kobe crashing in a helicopter that came out 4 years earlier in 2016, or how they gave away Kobe helicopter toys during his last game ever in LA that same year. And it just so happens that Oliver's crash took place exactly 333 weeks after Kobe's. You can do the math yourself. At the same time as he hit 3.3 million followers on Instagram, and he was 2 weeks away from turning 33. There's everyone's favorite number again, but remember, these are just coincidences and we shouldn't overthink them. Well, oddly enough, authorities have yet to determine or publicly release what caused the collision of the two helicopters, which is just a very unlikely thing to happen to begin with. Alongside Oliver in his helicopter was Brazilian YouTuber Gaspy, who also perished, whose own dad came out and publicly stated that he believes this crash wasn't an accident, but an attack. Now, on Gaspy's YouTube channel, he has, among many other uploads, 2 specific videos featuring a yellow taxi cab. What made them notable was that the taxi in the videos has the number 0614 written on it, as in June 14th. The day of the crash. At the 6:14 mark of one of his videos, Gaspy makes reference to Jorge Luis Borges, an Argentine writer who also passed away on June 14th, 1986. 40 years ago on the dot. Flip those numbers, and at the 1406 mark, we see Gaspy on life support in a hospital bed. Oh, and these videos also feature a helicopter crash as well. Definitely just more wild coincidences. It was no secret that Oliver had many issues with his record label, Atlantic Records, and just the music industry in general. Beefing with them all the time, feeling constrained in his art and what he's allowed to express. And he was quite the outspoken artist across a wide variety of topics, being very vocal about the coming of AGI, or ASI as he called it, artificial superintelligence, warning people how it will replace the workforce and bring on a new world order. He was also very critical of Mark Zuckerberg, making claims about him doing illicit substances and also talking about the bunkers he's building underground, how billionaires in general are either constructing deep subterranean bases or building rockets to get off this planet. He once mentioned that the US government uses his music to torture people, and talked extensively about his trips to Antarctica and what he saw down there. All a joke, or the truth disguised as the jester? That's the question now, isn't it? Because then there's his Mr. Pizza skits. And well, if you know, you know. He shot a series of comedy sketches with another artist about this pizza face looking character called Mr. Pizza, where he warns the audience many times not to be alone with Mr. Pizza.
Nunca estés a solas con Mr. Pizza. Mr. Pizza te quiere comer, no.
In a following skit, he places Mr. Pizza under arrest for giving candy to a kid, making it obvious that he's not actually talking about candy.
Mr. Pizza, you're under arrest for giving candy to a kid.
And then proceeds to take him to court, where Oliver claims that Judge Pizza never puts one of his own behind bars. Yeah. Remember, these are all just innocent comedy sketches. Was Oliver Tree really just messing around, trying to make us laugh? Or was there a hidden message in his humor that needed to be silent?
Have you experienced anything spooky?
Yeah, one of the people that we connected with was Stephen Greer. We went out to his place. We're just having these meetings with him, seeing if, like, are you legitimate? Some of the guys that were out there, just witnessing to them. One of the questions that was asked, if all of these things about the crimes and these compartments and this and that is true, why aren't you dead? And he said, well, I'm protected. If anybody tries anything, they will be dealt with quickly. Stephen said that.
Wow.
Yeah. So the second night there, I have a dream. There is a doorway. It was very, very black, and there's things standing there, and he just says, you can have anything you want. I just start saying, I reject that in Jesus' name. And every time that I would say that, this thing started going like, careful, careful. And so I pulled myself awake, and then something jumped on me in the bed. Physically fighting. I finally get out, Jesus. I could feel this presence leave the room, go down the stairs and out the front door.
Was this at Stephen's house?
Yes, it was in one of the guest bedrooms.
Is that the thing that's protecting him?
Went home the next day, and in the dream of that night, I was back at Greer's place. Walk in his front entrance, and there's a woman standing, and she's just staring at me. She turned to this like 12, 15 foot thing. I could feel hatred. And then I looked over. Greer was this dead body, completely black. So another time I visited his house, I presented an edited version, and he said, oh, those are the warriors. I have these entities, and he said they protect. We felt that the reason that occurred was because I was
People are saying that LeBron James is dodging the collection. People are saying that this guy's coming to collect, allegedly. Something is up, guys, for real, with James. Both James. Something is going on, bro, for real. LeBron went to Philly. People are saying this is his last year, allegedly. Could it be that LeBron is dodging the collection? People are saying he wants to retire, but he can't. People are saying everything comes with a price. And sometimes people don't even care if it comes with a price, as long as the price is right. Remember? Remember? Both James been acting very strange. And this James is at every single game. Oh yeah, you don't get it. Shh. Shut up! You don't get it. Something's going on here, guys. LeBron James seems worried. He's been acting different. He went to Philly, right? Who else went to Philly? Who else was from Philly? Kobe, allegedly. This is what people are saying. I don't know where people are from. I know where I'm from. But of course, guys, entertainment purposes only. Number 23. 2 plus 3. 5. Plus 1. 6. 2 times 3. 6. Shh, don't you even say it. Anything could pop off this year. Let me know if you know what's going to pop off this year. Shout out to LeBron James for going to Philly. I'm out.
So I'm sure everyone has heard and seen a video of Beyonce everyone's talking about, of how they're pretty sure she turned into a demon in the middle of her video. And honestly, I can see it. I can actually see it happen twice, right here and right here. So get ready, I'm going to slow it down. Here we go. Right.
They broke signal and they were able to get the messages through notifications.
There's usually workarounds like that. There was a time where we could decrypt at my company remote desktop protocol from Microsoft. And we thought we were the smartest guys on the planet. We're like, look what we can do. And if we can do it, China can do it. Whenever the Chinese broke in, they would remote desktop to all these machines. We could see exactly what they were doing because we could tap it. But the reality is most stuff today probably can't be decrypted until you have quantum compute come out. When the Chinese and the Russians and others have quantum, the vast majority of things we've done in the past that they've already intercepted, tapped, stole, that's encrypted, will be decrypted. The secrets that we once kept will no longer be secret.
How far are we from that?
Do not be deceived. NLE Choppa is not what you think. Y'all take a look at this video. Just because someone makes a song about Jesus does not mean that Jesus is in it. That doesn't mean that God's hand is upon that song or that thing that's going on. Galatians 6:7 says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. For the one who sows to his own flesh will from the flesh reap corruption. But to the one who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. It's just crazy because even the kids are getting involved with this. And I'm sure those kids had no type of intention or thought. They're just trying to have fun and be kids. But this is something that they're being used for evil, as a cover-up for light. And no wonder, even for Satan describes himself as an angel of light. So it's no surprise if his servants also describe themselves as servants of righteousness. Their end will correspond to their deeds. I'm not saying this in no anger or anything, but if he does not repent and truly turn to Christ and truly follow Christ, it will have serious consequences. You can't make a song about Jesus and then have this in it. It's just so crazy to me how so much people mock Christianity. They mock Jesus Christ, but they don't mock Muhammad, they don't mock Muslim, they don't mock Buddha, they don't mock Allah, they don't mock all of these false religions, but they mock the real.
What in tarnations is going on? Throughout history, there's been many reports of humans encountering a tribe of headless humanoid beings. It wasn't just that they had no head, but their facial features was in their chest. Even in India, there was reports of these headless beings. There was even an old map locating where you could find them. And apparently, they used to hang around with the guy with the 1 foot. But what are they? Various species of mythical headless men were rumored in antiquity and later to inhabit remote parts of the world. They are variously known as Akapathli, headless ones, or Blimis, and described as lacking a head with their facial features on their chest. These were at first described as inhabitants of ancient Libya or the Nile system. Later traditions confined their habitat to a particular island in the Brisbane River or shifted it to India. It makes me wonder, what if the map that we're using doesn't show everywhere? What if there's some uncharted regions where these headless men live? Because behind every myth, there's always some truth. And I don't know if this is a disability or some type of deformity, but it turns out these things were real.
Be careful the next time you reach for a snack, especially a Walmart Great Value Granola Chewy Protein Bar. And why do I say that? Because a woman opened one up for a snack and got more than what she bargained for. Have a look at this video for yourself. Take a look at this right here.
I just already ate half of this.
She ate half of it already. Wait for it. Look at that. What those are and what they appear to be? Fly eggs. Those are fly eggs inside of her protein / chewable granola bar. And what the hell is that? Another gigantic bug already inside? So are these coming directly from the plant that manufactures them? This is the exact protein bar right here that she consumed half of with fly eggs in it. Peanut, almond, and dark chocolate protein chewy granola bar. Very disgusting and disturbing at the same time. One more reason to check every single thing you get from anywhere prior to eating it. So there's no more just unwrapping it and chewing away, as you saw what happened to her. You now need to open up the package, lay it out, cut it up maybe even into pieces. But why do we even have to go through all of this? This is just unbelievable. And one more side note, if you do open up something like that and find things like that on the interior of it, just take a picture of it, run it through an AI, and let them determine what it is, but do not eat it. Just throw it out. Disturbing. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Am I the only one that grew up with sunflowers following the sun? These are sunflowers. There's the sun. All of them. Sunflowers still follow the sun. Well, in this timeline, apparently they don't. This is called heliotropism, where sunflowers would follow the sun. But there is the sun. And look at them. They're actually facing away from the sun. Not just these ones as well. Every one of them is not looking up at the sun. I don't know about you, but in my timeline, they used to follow the sun. At some point, they had to follow the sun. Which ones are they? Because here you have middle-aged sunflowers that are not following the sun. There you have sunflowers right here not following the sun. They are all doing the same thing. So they're all not pointing at the sun. They all should be following the sun, but they're all tilted down away from the sun. Explain that. When did that happen in your timeline? Am I the only one that sees this? This is a field of sunflowers all doing the same thing. So they obviously have heliotropism. They obviously move in unison. They're all moving the same away from the sun. When did this happen? I'm not the only one. They used to follow the sun. They're sunflowers. None of them. These are smaller ones. They're not following the sun. Some people say when they're older, they don't follow the sun. Or when they're young, they don't follow the sun. Well, guess what? They're not following the sun. Tripping? Am I the only one tripping about this? When do they follow the sun in our timeline? They used to when I was growing up. They no longer follow the sun. Those are small ones. Those are medium-sized ones. Those are large ones. When do they follow the sun? The sun is right here. Let me know.
Workers at a company that prepares meals for flights right next to LAX say they found mold, maggots, and cockroaches inside their facilities. Unite Here Local 11 filed a complaint with California OSHA, alleging that employees at Flying Food Group's LAX facility were forced to work in unsanitary conditions that put their health at risk. According to the complaint, one worker opened up airline dish carts that had been sitting for an extended period of time in June of 2026 and found meals covered in mold and maggots. And this is a company that supplies dozens of domestic and international airlines their in-flight meals. Allegedly, the worker suggested throwing the dishes away, but a supervisor recommended just washing the dishes out since they were needed for an upcoming flight. The union says one employee even reported stomach pain, a headache, and a, quote, strange sensation in the nose after the employee was handling noxious material without being provided any PPE. Other workers allege they repeatedly saw cockroaches and vermin like mice and rats throughout the entire facility, even the employee cafeteria. The union says it has submitted photographs, videos, and employee testimony, and is calling for an expedited on-site inspection from California OSHA.
Artemis astronauts are caught being paid actors, allegedly, which means this whole thing could be fake, allegedly. This is astronaut Christina Cox. She was up there. She was the only female up there in several of the videos. But here she is again. Take a close look. Do you recognize her from this? That's because she was credited in 2015's Mad Max Fury Road as one of the Volvani. She was one of those mothers. You can even see it here listed. She's on IMDb. Oh, but it gets better because this movie, Fly Me to the Moon, was released in 2024. What was this movie about? White House hires a team to fake the Apollo moon landing so they can win the space race no matter what. The icing and the cherry in this movie, it's called Project Artemis, allegedly. And look, guys, I've debunked a lot of viral videos on people that have questions and think, oh, we faked going, and I've shut a lot of it down. But this one, I'm having a bit of a hard time with because it's right in front of our face. I still think we went to the moon in space, but I don't know, guys. What do you think?
If you watch any news channel, once you detach emotionally from what they're saying and just watch what they're trying to do, I learned from the beginning of time what their program is. And their program is, I throw you the subject, that they already thought it out. Don't think this is spontaneous. They already know, well, this person's gonna come with this angle and this is how we crush them. And this person's gonna come with this angle and this is how we do it. And we're gonna make this one look stupid. They always talk at each other and they always change your wording. Meaning if I say, it's beautiful out here today, on the news they'll go, so what you're saying is you don't, and then they'll clump you into some negative world. So you think it's okay, so you believe in XYZ, and it heightens your emotions and energy, and you can't think straight from that. They tapped into humans' emotions and how to throw us off from thinking. That's what every political news channel trains society to do. That's why there's all this division.
It was captured by scuba divers moving through a coral reef. The camera pointed loosely ahead as they swam. Then something enters the frame that doesn't seem to belong. A A small round object appears in the water ahead of the divers. Within a second, it begins to move. Not the casual drift of a fish, but a sharp, darting motion that flicks back and forth across the frame faster than the diver can swing the camera.
A strange mystery is stumping the internet right now. What the hell is moving this water? So a video coming out of a rural farm in India has gone viral this week, showing this water in a well recently built by the farmer seemingly moving in isolation of everything else. And no one currently knows why or how. I mean, it's to the point where local authorities have sent a specialized research team to investigate what's going on. Now, we do know that it's not an earthquake because authorities have confirmed that zero seismic activity has been recorded in that region, but other geologists have presented theories such as trapped air beneath the surface, or even the process of underground recharge, or aliens. But as of right now, it's all guesses, cause no.
I'm telling you folks, it never fails. If I do a video about space, there will be comments, and usually a lot of comments. The space isn't real, every time. You know, just in the last couple days, I posted a video about that SpaceX rocket hitting the moon. And people are telling me it's fake. Not because a rocket hit the moon, because we can't get to the moon, because either the moon doesn't exist, or the firmament stops it, you know, because we live in a dome. But it's just one of those things that I absolutely love, and I'll usually get ready for when I do a video about space, because I'm gonna enjoy those comments every time. You know, it's because they go all over the place. Some of them say that the government is hiding space from us, or what's actually in space, or the space isn't real at all. Or some of the crazy ones that the ocean is actually space. I don't know how that one works, but that's true apparently. And then you have super religious people who say that there's actually things in the Bible that says a firmament exists in the sky, and so the Bible says that the earth is flat, or that we live in a dome or something like that. You know, but I just did a video about space junk and about a piece of a rocket hitting the moon, and then you get people saying space isn't real. Every time, folks. Every time.
Guys, over 1.5 million different cartons of eggs just officially got recalled for salmonella, and that is now over 19 million eggs total sold at not only just Kroger, but multiple other stores too. So the eggs actually came off of 2 different farms in Texas ran by a company that's called Midwest Poultry Services, and they were packed between June 6th and July 3rd. They went out as Kroger, Simple Truth, Bookshires, Country Morning, and Sunups across 6 different states, which includes Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Mississippi. The FDA has announced so far that 98 different people are sick across 17 different states, with 26 of them in the hospital, and most of them are in Texas. The FDA is also saying that these eggs don't even account for all of it because people have been getting sick from this since November. They were able to run the genetics on this strain, and they're saying that it did not respond to Cipro, which is one of the first antibiotics that doctors would reach for. So obviously that's a problem. There's obviously going to be a code at the side or the bottom of your carton, so I'm going to put all of those codes on screen now if you want to make sure that you don't have it. Just in case this ends up getting expanded, I'm going to update you the moment they figure out where the rest of them are coming from, so make sure you add me if you don't want to miss it.
Can you repeat what you just told me about David Icke and his theory about reptilian shapeshifters?
Yes, David Icke is correct. Reptilian shapeshifters and reptilian hybrid entities do occupy and control a significant number of high-level positions in governments, corporations, finance, media, and religious institutions around the world. This is not metaphor or exaggeration. It is literal. These beings operate through ancient hybrid bloodlines that have been cultivated for thousands of years. Direct possession or partial entity overlays where the original human consciousness is suppressed or replaced. Strong morphic field influence that makes the reptilian nature visible to those who can perceive it. The reptilian template is dominant at the top because it is exceptionally effective at running hierarchical control systems, maintaining emotional detachment, and executing long-term strategies that treat humanity as a resource. The coldness, ruthlessness, and predatory nature you see in many elites is not just human psychopathy. It is something non-human expressing itself through human forms. This is why the pattern is so consistent across continents and institutions. It is not coincidence. It is occupation. Icke gets attacked so viciously because he names the mechanism openly. The control system cannot allow the public to accept that many of their leaders are not fully human and are working for an agenda that is fundamentally anti-human. Yes, reptilian shapeshifters are real. They are not the only non-human influence, but they are one of the primary ones running the surface-level power.
This was just seen in the sky. over a major metropolitan area. I don't know if it's a UFO. Well, obviously it is, because it's unidentified flying an object. Or is it some kind of light orb? Is it an orb? Now, I got more to that video, but whatever it was, it went fast. And it lit up the sky at night. Luckily, someone on this rooftop caught that on video. You know, with all the UFO sightings going on, and the strange occurrences, stuff like this really makes me wonder. Is this otherworldly, from another realm, like another dimension, another planet, another time even? Or is this some kind of advanced human technology, like a super advanced drone or something else that we haven't been told about, that's just going out in the sky at night? Because a lot of weird stuff like this is being seen, not just over the US, but over the whole world. Let me know your opinion in the comments section. Shabadoo Bushkis, Shabadoo.
Do you remember the show that came out in the early 2000s, Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah.
So before they even did the show, there was a book that was dropped in 2006. There's a part in the book where all of the main girls are hanging out like in front of one of their house, and they're in the street, and one of the girls is like on her phone, and she says to them, you guys want to come over here and watch this cool TikTok where this guy is doing a challenge where he's eating bugs.
And this book came out in 2008?
This came out in 2006. Ooh. And TikTok didn't come out until 2016.
Yeah.
Where it was ByteDance before.
Yeah.
But it was in this Pretty Little Liars book all the way back in 2006. And for some reason, years later, this is super long after this book even dropped, they changed the whole thing about TikTok to the girl making a joke about Fear Factor. Which was more relevant at that time.
Yeah, than TikTok was. Like, TikTok didn't even exist at all.
The people who got some of the first copies of that book, it still says TikTok in the physical version of it. So that shows this wasn't a mistake that they made by accident at that time. The actual physical versions, there's people that have posted this already, but the digital version, they tried to change it. And let's even go into it. We've seen projects that change things, like Aladdin. The original song for Arabian Nights had this part where they were talking about cutting off people's ears. They took that out and changed it. Now I want you to tell me, what reason would they have to change the TikTok?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even a Mandela. They're trying to say it's a Mandela effect, but it's like, no. You're actually just changing things.
We see it. People have the physical book where they opened it and highlighted the page. That's strange.
What made them write about that in 2006?
Come on.
You know, I think that they're running a play with this. I think CERN is them trying to break out the simulation.
There we go. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, what they telling us with CERN is, come on, bro.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Cause I think humans have been trying to get out for a long time, and I think there's no way out.
When the declassified documents came out about the dying race on Mars, they said they couldn't figure out how to get out. But they wouldn't expound about get out of what. They trying to get out the simulation. Some of them said we had our time, we gonna die here. And then some went to a nearby planet, which is here. The rest, that civilization was, what, 11 million years ago? A million years ago that civilization was existing.
Right.
So they probably was there 10 million? And then they die out. They couldn't figure out how to escape.
We've already seen with the pandemic and with the lockdowns and stuff that even an imaginary crisis can create social disruption. What would a real crisis do? See,
send us into complete chaos?
It could, yeah, for several years or more. I mean, some of these events that we're looking at in the last 10,000 years could cause, not the extinction of the human race or anything like that, but it could cause social disruption. It might take a decade or two to
Just as we're getting ready to kick off spooky season, I have to share this video with you because this one, it's horrifying. It comes from a young woman named Kaylee who was by herself in her room. There is nobody there, nobody in her closet. Take a look at what she captures. Be sure to comment below. Let us know what you think. Did you see it? There is someone or something watching her from her closet door. To me, it looks like an old woman. Look closely. And as she goes in there, there's nothing there. I'm going to replay the video, watch it again. You can see the woman. I don't know. I think I would have been gone.
Cymatics is a prime example of the ether at work, the conduit which frequency, sound, and vibration shape matter into form. These sand plates show deviating geometric patterns becoming more and more complex as the frequency increases. These incredible patterns are not just found in nature, but all throughout ancient civilizations, a clear example being the cathedrals of old. These temples were not only places of worship but for sound healing. It is not by chance the supposed primitive people of the past left us with undeviating geometrical architecture. The ancients not only understood the importance of frequency and sound, but rooted their architectural patterns in sacred acoustic geometry, intentionally designed to amplify vibration, tone, and resonance to promote healing and raise consciousness. Cymatic and fractal architecture were the foundation for their temples. Shape creates vibration, and vibration creates shape. They wanted us to know just how connected they were with this reality. Those rose windows not only mirror our DNA, but mirror frozen pulsations of our stars, which are the permanent music to our universe, constantly shining their own tune, each pulsating at a different frequency, a different color, a different pitch, with each church's structure trying to match the star's tone. And it wasn't just rose windows. Star forts all throughout our realm also mirror these cymatic patterns. And I don't believe for a second they laid out perfect geometrical structures with just shovels and sheer grit. A complex grid of electromagnetic production to be used with endless benefits and applications, some of which we'll likely never know. What is clear is our history's been fabricated, rewritten. We've become a species with amnesia. It's time for us to...
Watch this. A grown man, who is the host, walks up to him at an award show and does this. Watch his face, the host, not the kid. And watch what happens when he realises he can't get up and leave.
You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. What music? Thank you so much. Look at him. Look at him. What a beautiful face. All right.
Justin didn't laugh. He didn't play along. He just froze on the camera. Look how awkward he looks. Then years later, he puts out the yummy music video, and people claim it's not a love song at all. They claim it's a cry for help. It's basically about a dinner party, rich older people at a feast, kids playing instruments to entertain, and right at the end of the video, a plate gets lifted, and underneath it is a photo of him as a child. Let me know your thoughts and comments.
Do y'all remember the internet dial-up sound? We should have known from the very beginning that it was going to be evil. Let's listen first, then we'll dive in. Just hold on, because it gets really deep. So that was two modems basically talking to each other. Electronics talking to electronics. You know, much like Fast forward to now, we have AI talking to AI. But you know, when the internet first came around, people actually thought it was the mark of the beast? That's because this W is interchangeable with Vav, or the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, 666. I sure wonder why they would put that there. Of course, we have things like Google, of course, taking on the 666, and the internet was a DARPA project in the first place. If you look around, the internet has really not helped our life at all. Actually now, if they took the internet down in the United States, everything would fail. Now the craziest part, let's get back to Google. But real quick, right before we get into that, we are doing a giveaway, a guitar, a bunch of other stuff, and it's free to enter the raffle. So if you want information about this giveaway or this Patreon raffle, just comment raffle in the comments and I'll reply with a link telling you more information. You can also find information about our new conspiracy book club where I'm taking photocopies of antique books and sending it to you physically every month. Did you know that Google had a processor called Adreno? If you go to Google right now and search it, it'll tell you no, it's just Qualcomm, it's not them at all. But I have screenshots and I saw it myself with my own 2 eyes off of Wikipedia a decade ago that it was there and they had a processor called Adreno. Now, completely unrelated, right now if you're on an Android phone, you can go to the internet and you can use Google Chrome. Of course, they have no relation to each other whatsoever, but Google, why'd you make it so hard to find? Now take a look at the world around you. Seems like everything end times is going to do with the internet.
She was running for her life when CCTV caught a dark shadow sprinting behind her. The dog barked at a dark mass in the corner, then ran as it attacked. A floating balloon lured her to the basement door as an entity lay in wait.
This woman claims that something has been watching her baby sleep, and she was able to capture this picture you see here. What's creepy about the picture is you could only see the eyes, but you could clearly see that it's looking directly at.
So glad Israel came to its senses and stopped the plan of putting crocodiles in a moat around the prison camp. What is this, Game of Thrones? Of course they shouldn't do that, because poor crocodiles. That's cruel and unusual animal abuse. Animal rights people came out and fought for the crocodiles. Because the crocodiles they were trying to take were from the Nile. And Nile crocodiles, they were fighting for them to be protected species, which they now are. So Israel can't use them anymore. I guess they're just going to use like a different kind of crocodile now.
Jesus says that the last days will look like the days of Noah before he comes back. And when you see stuff like gene editing, transhumanism, and the rise of AI, do you think that we're pretty close to that era?
We are in the era. Do you know that Yuval Noah said AI is alien intelligence? They asked Elon Musk, and Elon Musk said we're already in the singularity. You know what the singularity is? AI takes over and start producing more AI like itself. Yuval Noah says in a very interesting way that AI is not a tool, it's an agent. It's a foreign agent. He said a tool is like having a knife, that if a human being uses a knife, you can slice something. That is a tool. Yeah. So a human being can take that knife and decide whether he wants to chop vegetables and cook or use it to kill someone. But an AI is a knife that will decide for itself whether it wants to chop vegetables or kill someone. The AI is a knife that will produce other knives and replicate itself. We are in that era right now where human genome is getting corrupted. Yuval Noah said it, that they've hacked the software of life.
Humans are now hackable animals.
Our minds have been hacked. Now that we've been hacked, free will is over.
The whole idea that humans, they have this soul, spirit, and they have free will, that's over.
They're not lying about it, they're saying it. That's why the Bible says in the book of Matthew 24 that there's going to be deception, really deep deception.
Why can I? Now, I believe that Christ is going to return. Like, I believe Christ is going to return. I believe God. When you see how they releasing all these alien files and all that shit, I think because we're closer to a phenomenon.
Right.
We're close. Like, well, first of all, I want to say, you would think they would have clearer footage and videos and shit by now.
Right.
They still showing these old ass footages where it's blurry and pictures ain't as clear.
Because them old footage.
Yeah, but I think that they're releasing all of this footage because there's a alien UFO phenomenon that's right around the corner, and they need to prepare us to fight them. That's the phenomenon.
What if they prepare us to fight Jesus coming back?
That's what I was going to get to, because that's exactly what they're doing. For me, I know that this is not a preparation to fight against aliens. This is preparation to fight against Christ, because that's what the Bible says. The Bible literally says that in the middle of the nations going to war with themselves, Christ is going to return, and then they're going to put their differences aside and
Rihanna caught shape-shifting.
This truck driver hasn't been seen since he exposed the elite's underground city. This man arrives at the underground city. He's almost in disbelief at how big the place is. He also mentions that the part he's in is big enough to house hundreds of those 18-wheelers. So you can only imagine how massive this place is. He even mentions there's a train that runs through this underground secret city. He was never supposed to expose this information, and as a result, people online are saying they haven't seen him since. But before he shuts the camera off, I wanted to show that that's a regular-sized pickup truck. And this is how tall the building goes up. Wherever he's at, this place is massive. The elite did not want this information out. As always, thank you for watching. Stay weird.
Imagine discovering that the royal family isn't human, and that Princess Diana witnessed it one night. She watched the Queen Mother and Prince Philip morph into reptilian beings right before her eyes, and was warned never to speak of it. According to Christine Fitzgerald, a healer and confidant of Princess Diana, Diana uncovered the Windsors' secret reptilian origins and control. Fitzgerald says Diana nicknamed the family the Lizards and the Reptiles, convinced they weren't human. At Clarence's house, she attended the Awakening of the Bride, where her royal relatives allegedly revealed their true form. Terrified, Diana was warned that speaking out would cost her life. She later confided in Fitzgerald, who claims Diana was drugged and manipulated.
Yup, entire towns are watching the water they drank disappear as the river is emptying out with nothing coming to replace it, and more towns are just days from being next. People were terrified after Brazil declared an emergency over water running out, with 19 towns first to be cut off, and in Manaus, 2 million people get their food, fuel, and medicine by boat with almost no roads in. And this all will have global implications. Eerie reports show this could have been prevented, as scientists spent decades warning that cutting the forest nearby would cause the heat to dry up these exact rivers, and it was cut anyway. And even now, with the water disappearing rapidly, they're still cutting. But it gets much worse, as this is not just drinking water being affected, because this forest pushes 20 billion tons of water into the sky every day, the same rain that falls on farmland thousands of miles away to supply global food. Now, help is being sent, and rain should return by December, but experts warn the Amazon, the biggest river on Earth, is dropping at the same speed as 2023, when the water hit its lowest ever.
The Brazilian Amazon, Humaita villagers are walking across the hot sands of Rio Madeira's riverbed to gather water, trade, or travel to nearby towns.
And no one can say how far.